Garden Journal number 13, August 6th, 2017. This time I'm going to be showing how we used our first substantial pepper harvest from 2017 to roast them up on the campfire and preserve them for the long term by making hot sauce. That way all the flavors can be carried on right into the winter months and we can think back on that fun night we had roasting stuff around the campfire. Also going to be showing how we took our abundance of lavender in our lavender patch and infused it into organic olive oil so that we could extract the essential oils and then be able to infuse them into bath salts, thereby having the fragrance accessible to us year-round as well. So I'll try these sauces now that we've made them and explain how they worked out. First one, used all the peppers except for the really hot ones like habaneros and ghosts, so jalapenos, sweet heat, apache, a couple other ones. It'll be in the slideshow. And roasted those up with some onions, bell peppers, and peaches on the campfire, which added a nice smoky zing and some heat, but it's still got the kind of peachy, marmaladey vibe. So we called this one Peach Jubilee. And if you were going to cook pork or chicken, really nice marinade for that, but good all around. Looking forward to using that. That's the most mellow one. Then I wanted to try a peach chipotle, so I took all the roasted peppers that already had a smoky kind of flavor and threw in a couple chipotles in adobe sauce before I cooked them up in the pot and blended them. Nice, and that one's got a really rich, smoky background. Amazing on tacos, quesadillas, soups. Awesome. And then we took the hottest of the hot, the ghost peppers, the habaneros, and Thai chilies, and roasted those up, slow roasted them on a campfire. Used some other ingredients I'll show in the slideshow and made one that I'm calling Smoke and Embers. So it is both smoky and glowing, searing hot, just like the embers at the end of the night. Wow. Yeah, it's like if you were to put your tongue right over the embers, sears, and then you get the smoky flavors. Use in moderation, but glad to have those flavors year-round now. So I'll show you the slideshow of how the those three sauces were made and how we made the oil there from the lavender. Alright, this is our first harvest from July 2017. Gonna make some hot sauce. Here we've got the bucholoquias from our local nursery, white Peruvian habaneros, something we tried to grow from seed, which we thought was going to be ghost, but ended up being Apache-like peppers. Some more ghost Peruvian whites, hot red cherry pepper, and more of those Apache reverted randomy things. Then we've got Cherokee purples, which are not quite fully ripe, but they're still quite sweet, so they'll make a good flavor for the sauce. Got cherry toms and aroma, and then we're going to use molasses, apple cider vinegar, and water. Roast these bad boys all up on the fire, blend them up, jar them up. We got ourselves some sauce. So while I wait for my fire to burn down to a nice bed of coals, so I can slow roast the smaller peppers, I'm going to pre-roast some bell peppers. Using the hot dog roaster. Make use of the heat. Smoke. And the fire time. So before the big logs have burned down to the nice big embers that you want for slow roasting the rest of the smaller ingredients in the roasting cage or tray, I use the big ingredients here as I'm hanging out by the fire to char them up and smoke them up, give them some good flavor. That way there's less sitting around later on and having to keep the fire just a bed of coals, and more time to get a nice fire going and hang out with good people. Now we got a nice bed of coals, roasting up the smaller guys, keeping them moving. And we have a piece of wood on the side of the fire that's smoking still, so it's not just coals, it's smoke too. So we're kind of smoking them and roasting them at the same time. It's going to give it the mind-blowing flavor of a roasted garden pepper medley. That's it for this time. Next time, I'm going to be showing how we are starting our own sourdough culture. So we're taking stone ground organic wheat flour from around here. We're going to mix it up with some water and then let it sit at room temperature so that the lactic acid bacteria naturally present on the wheat and yeast can take over and start our own homegrown yeast. So we'll be able to naturally leaven bread without the need for chemicals or industrially produced yeasts like baking soda and baking powder. So we'll be self-sufficient for our bread needs, and it also helps pre-digest bread, so we're going to get some benefits out of that too. Also going to be looking at learning how to make our own raw fermented hot sauce. So with all the other hot sauces I've made, it involves cooking the peppers and then acidifying them through vinegar so that they're shelf stable for long-term storage. But with fermenting peppers, you don't have to cook them. You're just letting the lactic acid bacteria shift their biochemicals into being acidic through lactic acid. So they're staying raw, they're keeping all the nutrition intact as well as adding enzymatic and probiotic activity. So the hot sauce is going to take a turn for the healthy side, and we're going to try a whole new side of that. That's Garden Journal 13, signing out.